Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Shloka 38 and 39, by His Grace Sundar Gopāl Prabhu. Please repeat. Karoti Vishwastiti Samyamodayam Yasyepsitam Nepsitam Ikshitir Gunai Mayayatayo Brahmate Tadashrayam Gravno Namaste Gunakarma Sakshine Karoti, performing, Vishwa, of the universe, Sthiti, the maintenance, Samyama, winding up, Udayam, creation, Yasya, of whom, Ipsitam, desired, Na, not, Ipsitam, desired, Ikshitihu, of the one glancing over, Gunai, with the modes of material nature, Maya, the material energy, Yatha, as much as, Ayaha, iron, Brahmate, moves, Tad Ashrayam, placed near that, Gravnaha, a magnetic stone, Namaha, my respectful obeisances, Te, unto you, Gunakarma Sakshine, the witness of the actions and reactions of material nature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, you do not desire the creation, the maintenance or annihilation of this material world, but you perform these activities for the conditioned souls by your creative energy, exactly as a piece of iron moves under the influence of a lodestone. Inert matter moves when you glance over the total material energy. Please repeat. O Lord, you do not desire the creation, maintenance or annihilation of this material world, but you perform these activities for the conditioned souls by your creative energy, exactly as a piece of iron moves under the influence of a lodestone. Inert matter moves when you glance over the total material energy. Purport. Sometimes the question arises why the Supreme Lord has created this material world, which is so full of suffering for living entities entrapped in it. The answer given herein is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not wish to create this material world just to inflict suffering on the living entities. The Supreme Lord creates this world only because the conditioned souls want to enjoy it. The workings of nature are not going on automatically. It is only because the Lord glances over the material energy that it acts in wonderful ways. Just as a lodestone causes a piece of iron to move here and there. Because materialistic scientists and so-called Sankhya philosophers do not believe in God, they think that material nature is working without supervision. But that is not the fact. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 6th chapter, 18th and 19th shloka, the creation of the material world is explained as follows. Yadyapi Sankhya mane pradhana karana jada hai aite kabu nahe jagat srijna. Nija srishti shakti prabhu sanchare pradhane Ishvara shakti tabe haye ta nirmane. Atheistic Sankhya philosophers think that the total material energy causes the cosmic manifestation, but they are wrong. Dead matter has no moving power and therefore it cannot act independently. The Lord infuses the material ingredients with His own creative potency. Then, by the power of the Lord, matter moves and interacts. Sea waves are moved by the air. The air is created from ether. The ether is produced by the hesitation of the three modes of material nature. And the three modes of material nature interact due to the Supreme Lord's glance over the total material energy. Therefore, the background of all natural occurrences is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dekshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. This is also further explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 5.59 to 61. जगत कारण नहे प्रकृति जड़ रूपा शक्ति संचरीय तारे कृष्ण करे कृपा कृष्ण शक्ति प्रकृति हय गौण कारण अग्नि शक्ति लौह यैचे करेय जारण अतएव कृष्ण मूल जगत कारण प्रकृति कारण यैचे अजगल स्तन because prakriti material nature is dull and inert, it cannot actually be the cause of the material world. Lord Krishna shows his mercy by influencing his energy into the dull, inert material nature. Thus, Prakriti, by the energy of Lord Krishna, becomes the secondary cause, just as the iron becomes red hot by the energy of the fire. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the original cause of the cosmic manifestation. Prakriti is like nipples of the neck of a goat, for they cannot give any milk. Thus, it is a great mistake on the part of the material scientists and philosophers to think that matter moves independently. We'll go with next sloka also, no purport. My Lord, as the original boar within this universe, you fought and killed the great demon Hiranyaksha. Then you lifted me, the earth, from the Garbhodakasha ocean on the end of your tusk, exactly as a sporting elephant plucks a lotus flower from the water. I bow down before you. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Prayers Offered to the Lord by the Residents of Jambudvipa. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिन इति नामिने नामस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
So thank you very much for coming online with us on the Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
So this is a very interesting verse that many of, I just had recently one doctor from Hyderabad. He was kind of pointing out why the Lord had to create this material world and put everybody into suffering. You know, I did not know this verse. I would have quoted this one. So you can see from this that how the Lord, you see in Sanskrit, if you go to Sanskrit, you see the word there. Sometimes you have to show the Sanskrit, otherwise they think that, you know, we made up the words. So Prabhupada is so intelligent. He gave word for word translation.
Yes.
Okay? You see this word, Yashye ipchitam na ipchitam. There's two words here. This word means uh,
Of whom desired, not desired.
so he created this material world, but he didn't like it at all. You see the word naipchita, I not desiring. So this is an important point because many of us, of course, those who are suffering, they always like to find a scapegoat, so they can blame someone and feel good about it. I didn't do it; it is him. He's the rascal. So they like to what shower the blame to the Lord. They like to shower the blame on the Lord. And usually that happens when there's some calamities. Why the Lord is so unkind? Why he didn't? So many innocent people died. Why he is so heartless and all? Eh? You understand this? So this is how they kind of put God in bad light. But here the Lord is speaking. Uh, oh Lord, you do not desire the creation. It's not that he likes to create this material world. He doesn't like it, says here. Yeah? So why he did it then? He could have just stopped it. No, don't. Never mind. You do all your nonsense. Okay. Why did he do it? As a question, why? Yeah? So the answer is there. He did it, but you perform these activities for the conditioned soul. He did it for us. Why us? Although you know it is not good, but why? What's the answer for that? Huh? Although it is no good, but he did it. Why? That means he's very unkind, isn't it? You know he didn't like you, but why did he do it? Question, right? Why? Why? Huh? Why? Well, who's saying? Who's speaking?
Ultimately deliver us in the cycle of birth and death.
Huh?
Like that verse 9, 54, 58. You ultimately deliver us in the cycle of birth and death.
No, yes, be a bit louder.
9 what?
That verse 9, 54, 58. To ultimately deliver us in the cycle of birth and death.
9:24.
9:24:58. In that he told he created this to automatically deliver us from the cycle of birth and death.
Ultimate.
Huh?
Ultimate.
Ultimate. 9:24:58.
Can you take that out? Let's see what he's saying.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead acts through his material energy in the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this cosmic manifestation just to deliver the living entity by his compassion and stop the living entity's birth, death, and duration of materialistic life. Thus, he enables the living being to return home, back to Godhead.
No, but this thing can only happen if the living entity surrenders. He's not going to deliver someone who is not going to surrender. You understand this point?
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you come here and you go back to Godhead, is it? Is it a fact? The arrangement is there, but this can only happen if the living entity surrenders and accepts his authority. You understand? Can you go to 1087:32?
The wise souls who understand how your Maya dilutes all human beings render potent loving services to you, who are the source of liberation from birth and death. How indeed can fear of material life affect your faithful servants? On the other hand, your furrowing eyebrows, the triple rimmed wheel of time, repeatedly terrify those who refuse to take the shelter of you.
Hello? You understand this? Huh? This material world is created because he didn't like it. Why the living entities want to enjoy separately from him? You want to enjoy separately. As long as they have this separate consciousness, they have to go on the cycle of. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita say those who are faithless.
Yeah.
Huh?
Last Sunday class. Sunday you give the class.
Was
Those who
it?
are faithless. 9.5.
Those who are faithless, they have to go.
Mrityu samsara vartma.
You understand? You cannot just quote 9:21. See, Prabhu, see, the Lord is going to deliver everybody. Well, just eat and sleep, na? Huh? Can? Huh? Can? Can? Understand? So we have to know this in context. We cannot just try to, So today the verse, Prabhupada quoted this verse from the CC, the second part. Can you go there?
Yes.
So first try to understand how the whole thing is manifested. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, this is explained from 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
All these verses explain this today's point. But that is also covered in this CC part.
Adi Leela.
So we can read that.
Because Prakriti is dull and inert, it cannot actually be the cause of the material world. But Lord Krishna shows his mercy by infusing his energy into the dull, material, inert nature.
So even if the living entities want to enjoy, unless the Lord pulls the string, it is not possible. It is not something that it separately can do things. It's not. Understand? That's why the example is given, this magnet is moving the metal. That lodestone
Iron.
is called a magnet. Huh?
Yes.
It can move things. You understand? So the same way,
Jai Shri Radha.
the Lord is moving everything. The Lord is moving everything, just like the magnet is moving. See, next verse.
Thus, Prakriti, by the energy of Lord Krishna, becomes the secondary cause, just as iron becomes red hot by the energy of fire.
Right?
Yeah.
You understand this? Huh? Next.
Therefore, Lord Krishna is the original cause of the cosmic manifestation. Prakriti is like the nipples of neck of a goat. They cannot give any milk.
Have you seen that? Nipples and the
Yeah.
goat?
Yeah.
Huh? You can't get nothing out of that, no? Right? Have you seen?
Goat nipples. Yeah. Neck.
Have you seen?
Goat.
He's not sure.
Oh, I'll show the picture.
You want to show a picture of that? Come on, please. Don't waste your time. Hello. Go to India, you can see. There will always be some kind of thing dangling out of the neck of the goat, Have you seen that? They're supposed to be looking like nipples, but they're not, So go. Next.
The Maya aspect of material nature is the immediate cause of the cosmic manifestation, but it cannot be real cause, for the original cause is Lord Narayana.
Right? So material nature is only the secondary cause. It cannot be the primary cause. You understand? So anyone who thinks that material nature is all in all is actually having a wrong idea. I quoted that verse, You know the verse? 10:87:25. I remember? Do you remember that? Huh?
Supposed authorities who declare that matter is the origin of existence, that the permanent qualities of the soul can be destroyed, that the self is compounded of separate aspects of spirit and matter, or that material transactions constitute reality. All such authorities base their teachings on mistaken ideas that hide the truth. The dualistic conception that the living entity is produced from the three modes of nature is simply a product of ignorance. Such a conception has no real basis in you. For you are the transcendental to the illusion and always enjoy perfect total awareness.
Right? This point here. If you think Maya is the cause, then actually it is a mistaken idea. And that's how the scientists and all are working on this presumption. They think that material nature is the. Even if you think that the soul, there's the two lines, one is about Maya in controller, another one is that the soul, that the self is compounded of separate aspects of spirit and matter. Again, so if you think that the soul is also independent and is the controller, that's also a mistaken idea. I think I quoted that verse.
Yes.
It is in the 19, but the same verse is there, 1087:33. But the translation here is a little different from what Prabhupada translated in 19. You go to this verse, the same verse in 19, 140 something, not 140, 19, 145, 46 or something.
Although,
No,
okay.
no, go down. The soul, the same verse. Yeah, 143. 143. So here you see this verse, it's the same as the 1087:33, but the translation is a little different. Can you read
O
that?
Lord, although the living entities who have accepted material bodies are spiritual and unlimited in number, if they were all pervading, there would be no question of their being under your control. If they are accepted, however, as particles of the eternally existing spiritual entity, as part of you, who are the supreme spirit whole, we must conclude that they are always under your control. If the living entities are simply satisfied with being identical with you as spiritual particles, then they will be happy being controllers of so many things. The conclusion is that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are one and the same in a faulty conclusion. It is not a fact.
To this point?
This is 1087:30.
Yeah, that is I was
Not
not
33.
30.
1087:33.
No, 30.
30. 30.
Yeah.
33 is that.
Horse.
So you see, this was, of course, this is Prabhupada translation is in the CC.
Yes.
So that's why I quote the CC, so the translation. So you see, the first misnomer that the Maya is the independent. The second one is the living entity is also independent. So the two concepts are, it doesn't go. You see, you cannot go on the presumption that there is no God. Because unless someone who thinks like that, then he also will think like this. There is no controller, there is no God. This is how the consciousness of who thinks like that, who thinks like that, who thinks like that. There's no controller, there's no God, everything is Maya. Who thinks?
Anish.
Everyone.
Demons.
Demons, yes, go to the verse 16:8, is it? Huh?
Yeah.
This is how the demons will think like this. This is the demonic conscious. That
Asatyam
asatyam
apratishtam
apratistham
te
te jagat
jagat
aur
ahur anishwaram.
anishwaram. See?
No
All
control.
na. See?
No control.
Understand? Can you read the
Yes,
translation?
bro. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
See, this is the conclusion. This is the demonic think like this. There's no God, there's no controller. This Maya, yeah,
Unreal.
everything is illusory. You know, can you go to 1087, 36? This is how they think, everything is based on illusion.
It may be proposed that this world is permanently real because it is generated from the permanent reality. But such an argument is subject to logical refutation. Sometimes, indeed, the apparent non-difference of a cause and its effect fails to prove true. And at other times, the product of something real is illusory. Furthermore, this world cannot be permanently real, for it partakes of the natures of not only the absolute reality, but also the illusion disguising that reality. Actually, the visible forms of this world are just an imaginary arrangement resorted to by a succession of ignorant persons in order to facilitate their material affairs. With their various meanings and implications, the learned words of your Vedas bewilder all persons whose minds have been dulled by hearing the incantations of sacrificial rituals.
So each line of this explains today's verse more or less.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah,
And if people who just simply chanting like a parrot, they cannot figure this out. See?
dulled.
That's why Krishna said to Arjuna, Bhakto Shime Shaka Cheti, Tat Rasyam,
Etututtam.
because you are my devotee and you can understand these secrets. Understand? You follow this point? This whole verse is, can you go line by line? We can see.
Yes,
First line you can see. It may
may
be
be
proposed that this world is permanently real. This is how everyone is thinking. He doesn't want to die because he think what?
permanently.
This is all. This is it. Correct? You think, no, I'm permanent. I'm going to be permanent here forever. You understand? This is explained like this. You see?
Because it is generated from the permanent reality. But such an argument is subject to logical refutation.
Baseless. Because death is there. How he can be permanent? Then
Sometimes, indeed, the apparent non-difference of a cause and its effect fails to prove true. And at other times, the product of something real is illusory.
because this material world there's no, I would say, Krishna says this place is what?
Dukkha layam ashashvata.
No, in the first verse of the Bhagavatam.
Tejo varim, illusion.
This material world is illusory.
Yeah, tejo varim.
Is it not?
Land and water.
This material world is temporary and
Illusory.
right? Is it not? Then
Furthermore, this world cannot be permanently real, for it partakes of the nature of not only the absolute reality, but also the illusion disguising that reality. Actually, the visible forms of this world are just an imaginary arrangement resorted to by a succession of ignorant persons in order to facilitate their material affairs.
so this is how the Lord bewilders the conditioned soul. By making this illusory world very real, that he thinks that yes, this is it. No. But he cannot understand this thing. Not possible for him to see through this thing unless he becomes a devotee. See, can you go to the last verse of this?
Yes.
1087, the last verse.
Oh,
The last
Last
verse
verse.
is what? 40 something, eh?
50. Yeah. He is the Lord who eternally watches over this universe, who exists before, during, and after its manifestation. He is the master of both the unmanifest material energy and the spirit soul. After sending forth the creation, he enters within it, accompanying each living entity. Therefore, he creates the material bodies and then remains as their regulator. By surrendering to him, one can escape the embrace of illusion, just as a dreaming person forgets his own body. One who wants liberation from fear should constantly meditate upon him, Lord Hari, who is always on the platform of perfection and thus never subject to material birth.
Okay. Now you understand this verse? Right?
Yeah.
So this verse is the answer to that. So you cannot try to solve this puzzle by your own strength. It is not possible. You cannot figure this out. You know, it is made in such a way, it is so compact. Huh? That is foolproof. Why? Why this is foolproof? Because your instruments are defective. You understand? The Lord says no. That you cannot see me with this defective.
Senses.
That's why the word is used, no? Ajokchaja. You cannot see the Lord with your dull material,
Senses.
right? So if you want to understand the Lord, I quote this verse, I think, 6, what is that? 6:4:29. 6:4:29, is it? I quote that verse. Huh?
Anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, and anything experienced by the material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of the modes of material nature and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for he is the source of the material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, he exists before the creation and after the creation. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
When he spoke to Brahma, you know the verse, right? Aham evasam evagre. No? So you see, he went to the point, the Lord. I am the creator. I am, everything is me. Everything comes through me. Everything will be maintained by me. And everything will be, when enlightened, goes into me. So this is the sum and substance of this whole Vedic philosophy. If you don't come to this conclusion, then you will be, what is that, sidetracked in illusion. You cannot understand. You understand this point? And that's the first thing he told Brahma. You understand that I, that word aham, that verse, no, what is that? Huh? 3, 9, what? 2, 9, 34, is it?
33.
33. See, the word I. So this is the basis, the I, that I am.
Aham evasyam eva.
The Bhagavad Gita also he said that, right? What is that verse?
Aham sarvasya prabhava. Atta sarva.
Aham evasam. Can you chant this?
Aham evasam evagre. Nanyat yatsad asat param. Pashyad aham yad etaccha. Yo vishyate soshyam yaham. Vashishyate.
See this word, nanyat yat sat asat param. See? Can you translate?
Yes. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of God.
This is the, and you see the whole world doesn't know that. And to know this takes millions of births. Bahunam Janmanam.
Janmanamante.
Yes. It's not that simply you can know Krishna, And why is it like that? Why the Lord made like that? Why? To come to that point, you have to have piety, no? You have to what? That means you must do. You have to have yesham, what is that?
Tvantagatam papam.
Yesham ta antagata papam jananam punya karma. It is not just by joke you can just carry your bag and come, that's it, You follow? Although he said in this verse today that I don't like this, but in order for you to come back to the original consciousness, accepting him, you require to prove yourself. You understand? You have to what? It's not that you simply, yeah, Prabhu, I have come, Prabhu, that's it. And to prove yourself, you have to do a lot of piety. And you have to be free from sinful life. Free from? You go and talk to anybody, no, we are with God, We are what? With God. They think God is like that. But that is where that verse comes in, no? What is that verse? 10 to 30? 32? Right? Vimukta manina. And what is that? Vishuddha buddhi. These two,
Avishuddha Buddha.
Avishuddha buddhi. These two words, used by Lord Brahma. You cannot, those who think like that are actually contaminated consciousness. You understand? It is not some joke, you become a devotee. You know what? Devotee is a very rare, the rare thing, That's why even of course, I've spoken many times, the word 915, Others. All these others. Who are these others? 915, no? The one who want to merge with him, and the one who worship the Lord in many forms, and the one who worship the unity. These are all others. Chapi anye is it. They're not, this don't qualify. You understand? So to understand the supremacy of the Lord and totally surrender to him, you have to do a lot of piety and must be free from sinful life. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted that verse 3:7:20, I many times we have quoted this verse, Alpa. What is that?
Alpatapasaha.
Durapa.
Durapyaha alpatapasaha.
Alpatapasha. Correct? So those who don't have this austerity, tapodevyam putrakaha yena sattvam again. So all these are essential, what we say, qualities to get spiritual credit, Unless you do the spiritual credit and earn the merits, it's not going to be revealed to you. That's not possible. That is not possible. So spiritual life means, that's why it says, one who has taken how many millions of births, and he come to understand that I am all in all. Such a person is a great and rare soul. See, this verse, I was also proper quoted this verse. I think it's 640, what? That verse, in Sanskrit, he was quoting this verse. I just want to tell you again about the rarity of this devotional service. One who I think it's 43. Yeah. Can you go to this verse 42?
Yeah, 42.
642.
Yes. Or if
So you
unsuccessful.
see the word here, Sanskrit, please. See the word here.
Durlabha.
Ah.
Durlabha.
Etadi durlabha taram. That is, Prabhupada was quoting this word. And it says here the translation means extremely,
Very rare.
extremely. That's now bahunam janmam ante maha sudurlabham. What is that? Rare. It's a rare and great soul. Sudurlabham.
Samahatma Sudurlabha.
But here again it says this word
Durlabha taram.
durlabha taram. Huh?
Superlative, na? Comparative. Tamam. Bharat tamam, okay, it's comparative. Better best, better this one.
So you see how the translation of this, or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga, you know that the first one is what? Suchinam, Srimantam.
Okay.
That short term, today you came, tomorrow, there you go to heavenly planet. But after someone, practice for a long time and then finally decide to get married, huh? You understand? Unsuccessful after long practice, then it takes birth in a very exalted Brahminical, devotee family, and is considered as extremely fortunate and rare. So you see, why we're bringing these terms out is that because to understand Krishna, as the supreme creator and all, because we have to give up that enviousness. Because I already explained at length that verse, what Matsara Jwara. A conditioned soul is always envious by birth. What is that? Ichcha Dvisa Samutena Sammoham
Andam.
Bharat. So because of this enmity or this enviousness, so even if he sees the Lord, he doesn't want to surrender because he wants to replace the Lord and be the Lord himself. But that's how enviousness breeds, You understand? And that's why we have to go and surrender to the representative. Why? So that you will be free from. So you have to serve. You cannot go and serve the Lord directly. So the Lord makes arrangement like that. And you see this verse. What is that? Tapasya. What? 3:7:20. Durapa. Alpa tapasya. See? You cannot get the service of a pure devotee. You see how everything is very much programmed to purify the soul so that he will eventually surrender to the Lord and accept him as all in all. That's why again in the 5:5, what is that verse? 5:5.
1.
Unless they develop love for me, Vasudev.
557.
5:6, I think. 5:6.
Pritinna yavan mahi vasudeva. Namuchyate deha yogena.
That
Six.
6,
Yes.
Is that Priti na yavan mahi vasudeva? Is it that translation?
When the living entity is covered by the mode of ignorance, he does not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being. And his.
This is exactly what we said just now.
Yes.
If you are in the material world, you cannot understand this. Is it? You cannot. Is it?
And his mind is subjugated to by fruitive activity. Therefore, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again.
जैसे बहुनाम जन्मनम ante ज्ञानवन
Mam Prabhati.
Vasudevan Sarvamiti. Yes. So you see how everything is it is tightly what we say packed. Because it doesn't want you to come here. But if you come here, you cannot just get out. You got to prove yourself that you are 100% surrendered huh, to Guru and Krishna. Then yes, everything will become very much clear. Just say Deve Para Bhakti Yata Deva. I'm sure you know all these verses. Okay? So spiritual life is based on such understanding. That's why today the verse, the Lord doesn't like it that He brought you here. But at the same time, He wants to see that you're thoroughly what?
Surrender.
Cured of your contamination. Cured of your,
Contamination.
understand? That's why He said devotional service, He rarely give to anybody. Everything else He give, but devotional service you know the verse? 5, I'm sorry, 8, 19. 8, 19. 8,
6, 18. 5, 6, 18.
but is in the CC 8, 19. CC 8, 19. Yeah, got it there. Yeah, right, read this.
The great says, Shukadeva Goswami said, My dear Maharaja Parishit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always ready to help you. He is your master, guru, God, and very dear friend, and also the head of your family. Yet sometimes he agreed to act as your family's servant or order carrier. You are greatly fortunate because this relationship is only possible by Bhakti Yoga. The Lord can give liberation, mukti very easily, but He does not very easily give one Bhakti Yoga because by that process He is bound to the devotee.
Right. So this is the Lord's way of dealing. But for His devotee, He give everything. You see, everything. Become the servant, become the messenger, become everything. But to become a devotee, that we have to prove our salt. We say in English, we have to prove our worth. How we are 100% surrendered to Him without any. That that verse 19168, is it? 19168, is it?
Anya Vancha. Yeah. A pure devotee.
This is the qualification.
Yeah.
Huh?
A pure devotee must not cherish any desire other than to serve Krishna. He should not offer worship to the demigods or mundane personalities. He should not cultivate artificial knowledge which is devoid of Krishna consciousness. And he should not engage himself in anything other than Krishna conscious activities. One must engage all one's purified senses in the service of the Lord. This is favorable. This is the favorable execution of Krishna conscious activities.
Because Rupa Goswami also say, Anya Bilashita.
Sunyam, Gnana Karma.
So, all these points are relevant to understand that how we must become 100% surrendered to the Lord without any trace. The Anya Bilashita Sunyam.
Zero.
Jnana, Karma,
Anavrit.
The previous verse.
Yeah, this is the previous. 1916. Yes. Anyabilashita sunyam gnana karma dhanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttamam. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monistic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires.
Because this is all in relation to that 6 kinds of surrender.
Yeah.
You know,
Rakshishyati iti Vishwa.
2200.
In yeah. that also.
2200. Madhya 2200.
Yes. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati iti Vishwasho goptrutvave varanam tada atma nikshepa karpanya shedvida sharanagatihi. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service.
So acceptance things favorable means this verses, this
yeah.
19
67, 68.
168.
Yeah.
We cannot have any, understand, not that you hold something back. Just like Draupadi, she tried to hold back, when she was disrobed, right? So the Lord is not willing to accept even that amount of holding back. It is 10%, 100%. So to give the Lord that kind of a thing requires a lot of, purification. This is why the training is there from brahmachari. You go and stay with the guru and give everything to him. You go out begging, everything you give, you don't have nothing. That's the start, And if we tell you you cannot eat, as Prabhupada say you cannot go and eat. You see how the strict condition of early training. Why? Because it teaches us to become what? Completely surrendered like that. That's the verse. No, where's that verse?
712.
Huh?
712.
712? Brahmachari Gurukule?
Yeah.
No, there's another verse, you cannot get, no, it's 7:31. 7:31. That verse is even more. You go to 7:31.
Guru Shushushya Bhakta.
Yeah.
Sarvalabdharpinecha.
See that? This verse, you can read the translation.
One must accept the bona fide spiritual master and render service unto him with great devotion and faith. Whatever one has in one's possession should be offered to the spiritual master. And in the association of saintly persons and devotees, one should worship the Lord. Hear the glories of the Lord with faith. Glorify the transcendental qualities and activities of the Lord. Always meditate on the Lord's lotus feet and worship the deity of the Lord strictly according to the injunctions of the Shastra and Guru.
But these are all, there's another verse, 16, 17. Is that?
19.
6:1, no, 19.
That
17, I think. You cannot have anything separate, that's the verse there. Can someone look for me?
No.
17?
Yeah. Certainly.
No, you go back to 16. Go back to 15.
Yeah.
15 is that fork thing. It must be 16 then. Just one verse after the fork. Then. I immediately go to the 16.
Okay.
Then this is the verse then.
One cannot be pure.
And thus learns how to dedicate his life unto the lotus feet of the Lord.
He can be completely purified.
Merely undergoing all these other things. So what I'm trying to say is that the training is to start with that giving everything to the spiritual master. And that way one learns, how to dedicate himself. So when he comes after he goes to the other ashrams and when he comes to the complete renounced platform, then he also gets back to his, giving everything to the Lord, not keeping anything for one. So this is the training actually. This is how one learns how to dedicate himself 100% to the Lord. get completely purified, not have anything in keeping something in the heart for it. Okay, I think pretty much we covered the whole thing. Did we cover everything? Yes. When we started off by, I'll summarize, huh? We started off by saying how defective this philosophy, this material world is created by the Lord unwillingly. It's not that with wholeheartedly did it. And who are the people who gets into this kind of a thinking that the material world is what? Independent of the Lord. That is explained also, right?
Yes.
And how a person who is thinking that Maya is and all is defective, and how one thinks that the spirit soul is also independent, it's all defective. And we also explain how the Lord is actually the manifestor of everything. Yes? Then finally,
Then how to purify? How to purify ourselves?
How to purify yourselves and how to dedicate 10% to the Lord. Come to this platform. You understand? So this is that we can go on and on. There's another word. How if you think yourself completely dedicated to the Lord, then you will also break all this connection with family and everything. That word is also there. 1087, 32. I think we showed 32,
Sure,
right?
Sure.
30.
Okay, last class.
Did we show 32?
No.
Then it's 10 to 32.
Yeah.
Go to 1080.
The wise souls.
Showed us in 10 to 32.
The wise souls who understand how your Maya dilutes all human beings render potent loving service to you, who are the source of liberation from birth and death. How indeed can fear of material life affect your faithful servants? On the other hand, your furrowing eyebrows, this we have shown.
Not this verse.
This we have shown.
Go
25
to
also we have shown.
34. Go 34.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, this
To those persons, yeah. To those persons who take shelter of you, you reveal yourself as the super soul, the embodiment of all transcendental pleasure. What further use have such devotees for their servants, children or bodies, their wives, money or houses, their land, good health or conveyances? And for those who fail to appreciate the truth about you and go on pursuing the pleasures of sex, what could there be in this entire world? A place inherently doomed to destruction and devoid of significance that could give them real happiness.
To that point here.
They left everything. Yeah.
So this is the underlying point. If you come to the Lord 10%, then automatically you become detached from all these things.
Wife, everything.
Next verse also.
Yes. 1087:35.
This 1087 chapter is very
This one, Vedas speaking, right?
yeah.
Sages free from false pride.
No, not this one. 36 I've already covered. No, that's it.
That's it. Okay.
So okay, any questions or comments? Actually, there's another verse above. Also, they also get free from family and all that. No longer. Yeah, this is the verse.
This one only.
Anyone, you see? Can you read this?
Yes. Sages free from false pride live on this earth by frequenting the sacred pilgrimage sites and those places where the Supreme Lord displayed his pastimes. Because such devotees keep your lotus feet within their hearts, the water that washes their feet destroys all sins. Anyone who even once turns his mind toward you, the ever blissful soul of all existence, no longer dedicate himself to serving family life at home, which simply robs a man of his good qualities.
Then again, so all this entanglement, when a person is entangled, then it's difficult to get out unless the Lord helps. So unless the Lord helps means we have to surrender. That's the pranipatena.
Yeah.
Without that surrender, not possible. All right. Anybody want to add something more on this?
Some people. Okay.
Please reclaim the conditioned soul who are in goodness. I mean, to surrender. Please, Lord, only reclaim the conditioned soul to surrender.
No, there's a verse you quoted, I think.
So I
The
have a
Lord is
doubt.
only interested in helping those who are in the mode of goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Can you take out? He's only carrying those people who are interested in making some spiritual advancement. There's the verse, no, he quoted that the day.
Yeah.
He performed pastime to reclaim those in the mode of pure
Goodness.
goodness. That
Yeah.
pure goodness is transcendental, but first you go to goodness and then you can go up to pure goodness. A stepping stone. That 1, 2, 34.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you see, everything is, it is there, but unless you, go into the, so every living entity is in the process, and how he makes advancement? Unless he meets the devotees. That's why Krishna told, associate with devotees by sadhu sangha, sarva sattva. The whole thing is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is not to go and get some asirvad, It's to go and, hear and serve and get purified. That's the whole idea. Huh? You understand? You understand? Of course, we make arrangement like this present Ratha Yatra. So many people come and they also get the benefits, because they saw the Lord, pulled the cart, bought some prasadam, took some prasadam. I don't know, some will come to your booth and talk to you, correct? What is this? What? So many things, right? So all these are facilities to facilitate that soul journey, onward journey. That's why festivals are very important. There's a verse also for that. 11, what? 19, 20, what is it? One must celebrate.
11, 19,
See, you must celebrate all these things. Why? Because this facilitate, all these souls to give them a chance, to accumulate, piety. Right?
Gopal also said Rathayatra is mass enlightenment.
Yeah?
Gopal also said Rathayatra is for mass, reaching mass
Yeah,
enlightenment.
mass. It was, of course, it's hard work. It's not that it's some easy thing or what, but still, everyone was so blissful, no? Because the Lord is happy. Everyone is happy. And everyone, not only us, some guys are commenting, oh, this is massive and so, as though some divine force is working. Someone wrote that comment, right? Yeah, how? Because the Lord is in control, no? Yes? No, that Janmashtami, everything is there, no? Where's that? Not this verse, go down some more. 32 or something. The one must celebrate Janmashtami and what? My
This
appearance
one.
and all that.
11:19.
11:19. I thought it was 11:11.
11:34.
Go there. So don't think that what we are doing here is all mere speculation, It is all what? Authorized, is it? What is that? Can you?
My dear Uddhava, one can give up false pride and prestige by engaging in the following devotional activities. One may purify oneself by seeing, touching, worshipping, serving, and offering prayers of glorification and obeisances to my form as the deity and to my pure devotees. One should also glorify my transcendental qualities and activities. Hear with love and faith the narrations of my glories and constantly meditate on me. One should offer to me whatever one acquires, and accepting oneself as my eternal servant, one should give oneself completely to me. One should always discuss my birth and activities and enjoy by participating in festivals such as Janmashtami, which glorify my pastimes.
That
In my temple, one should also participate in festivals and ceremonies by singing, dancing, playing musical instruments, and discussing me with other Vaishnavas. One should observe all regularly celebrated annual festivals by attending ceremonies, pilgrimages, and making offerings. One should also observe religious vows such as Ekadashi and take initiation by the procedures mentioned in the Vedas, Pancharatra, and other. Similarly, and other similar literatures. One should faithfully and lovingly support the installation of my deity, and individually or in cooperation with others, one should work for the construction of Krishna conscious temples and cities, as well as flower gardens, fruit gardens, and special areas to celebrate my pastimes. One should consider oneself to be my humble servant without duplicity, and thus should help to clean the temple, which is my home. First, one should sweep and dust thoroughly, and then one should further cleanse with water and cow dung. Having dried the temple, one should sprinkle scented water and decorate the temple with mandalas. One should thus act like my servant. A devotee should never advertise his devotional activities. Therefore, his service will not be cause of the false pride. One should never use lamps that are offered to me for other purposes simply because there is need of some illumination. And similarly, one should never offer to me anything that has been offered to or used by others. Whatever is most desired by one within this material world and whatever is most dear to oneself, one should offer that very thing to me. Such an offering qualifies one for eternal life.
now the guru thing also the same point.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, we will stop here then. Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.